It's good. I'm just trying to record and I'll share my screen just now. So far, how's everything that you've written this week? Have you started already?
Yes, I started.
How has your exam been?
My exam so far was fine.
What did you write so far?
I wrote English, Afrikaans, history.
Okay,
I
that's
also
okay.
wrote creative arts.
Okay, no problem. If you're happy, yeah, I'm good. Just let me know as soon as you're able to see that. I'm not feeling very much well today, so my voice is gonna be a bit lower than usual, right? But this activity, as I mentioned to you earlier, that we're just gonna do this activity without the use of a calculator, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and remember I said the very useful thing here is going to be BODMAS. So we're gonna follow BODMAS, what BODMAS say, right? So the first one is 100 plus 50 minus 30. Remember, no use of a calculator. So that means we have to have steps as to how we got to our final answer. Okay, we're not gonna just say the answer is 3. You have to state how you got to 3. Okay.
Ma'am, okay, ma'am. The first you write 100 plus 50 is 150. Then 150 minus 30 is 120. That's the final answer.
So you're saying we're going to have what? We're going to have 100. Mm, and it turns out this. Okay. Okay, so you're saying we're going to have 100 plus 50, which is 150, 150, and then minus 30. You said the answer is going to be 120, and that's correct. And then not number, but B, we have 100 plus open bracket 50 minus 30, close the bracket.
Write 100 plus 20. Then 100 plus 20 will equal 120. That's the final answer.
Your answer is going to be
My answer is going to be 120.
120. And you said, what did you start with?
I started with minusing the 50 minus 30 in the brackets, and that answer will be 20. And then the sum will be 100 plus 20, and that answer will be 120.
Perfect. So you're going to start with um working out what's inside the brackets because remember, BODMAS start with B, and then that B stands for brackets. So you're gonna start with removing the brackets or working out whatever that's inside the brackets. So inside the brackets we have 50 minus 30. So we're gonna work with that first. And if we cannot do anything, then we move on to the others. But in this case, it's just numbers, excuse me, which is 30 and 50, right? Negative 30 and 50. And remember, this BODMAS is not just applicable to this section, but the whole mathematics, right? The syllabus, everything that you do in maths, or not necessarily in maths, but anywhere where you have to calculate, you have to consider BODMAS, right? It's just that BODMAS is mainly uh, it's mainly preached in mathematics, so it feels like it's a maths thing, right? So you start with the brackets, even when you're dealing with solving for x, or you're simplifying or factorizing, you need to follow the BODMAS way. So you start with whatever that's inside the brackets. So in this case, you started with 50 minus 30, it gave you 20. And then this one gave you 100. So it's 100 plus 20, which is 120. Now let's look at C, which says 100 minus 50 plus 30.
Ma'am, first I would minus the 150, the answer will be 50, then add it to the 30, the answer will be 8, final answer will be 80.
Final answer would be 80. He said, what do you start with? Bod.
First, yes, and first I minus the 100 by the 50.
Does BODMAS start with minusing, subtracting?
No, but I believe it will give us the same answer if you do
Yes,
either.
you're absolutely right. It will give you the same answer. But now remember, we are trying to keep up with BODMAS, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means we're going to start firstly with addition and then go to subtraction. Okay. What do we have? We have 100 minus 50 plus 30. So it's going to be minus 50 plus 30, negative 50 plus 30 is going to be negative 20. And then that means we're going to have what? We're going to have 100, that's 100. We're going to be left with this 100. So that means we're going to have 100 minus 20, which is going to be the 80 that you got, right? And let's look at this. Let's go to D. For D, we have 100 minus open bracket 50 plus 30 close bracket. 100 minus open bracket that that that
First you First you'll add the everything in the brackets, which is from 50 plus 3, which would equal 80. So the sum will now be 100 minus 80. 100 minus 80 will be 20.
perfect.
Equal
So we get
20.
brackets. So brackets will give us 80, and then we're going to have 100 minus 80, which will give us positive 20. Perfect. And let's move to E. And then for E, what do you have? We have 3 open bracket 10 minus 4 close bracket plus 2. Do we start with plus or minus? What do we
You multiply the 3 within the brackets.
multiply the 3 within the bracket?
Yes, ma'am. So for the next sum, you'll write 30 minus 12 plus, I must add the number there
2.
by the plus. Well, yes, plus 2, ma'am.
Remember when I started, I said um for bot mass, remember it says B, it starts with B. before brackets, ne? So I said you're gonna look at whatever that's inside the brackets. If you cannot simplify it, then you can move to the other. You can move on to doing something else, right? You can move on to the next step. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am, makes sense.
If whatever that's inside the brackets cannot be added together, then you move on to the next step. But in this case, when you look at the whatever that's inside the brackets is just numbers, which simply means that we can do what we can add them. Okay, we can add them. We can less subtract them. We can get the difference. Okay, because if you say 30, then you're going to have let's see. He said you have 30. That means it's going to be 30 minus 12 plus 2. So I assume here you're going to have 30 minus 10, right? 30 minus 10, which is 20, right? And then if you do it like this, you're going to add these two numbers together. What is no, you're gonna get the sum of whatever that's inside the brackets, which is 10 minus 6 is 6. What is 3 multiplied by 6?
It's 18.
What?
Ma'am, is it 18?
18. And then plus 2, you're going to get 20. However, you may get different results if you're working with x's and y's. Now, if you had like variables, so it's advisable to do what to follow the Bodmer's rule, right? Which says you work out whatever that's inside the brackets. If you cannot move further with it, you move on to the next step. Ne?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Something like this. And then we have F over here. So F says 10 open bracket 5 plus 7 close bracket plus 3 open bracket 18 minus 8 close bracket. How are we gonna do that?
Ma'am, I just wanted to inform you, ma'am. Someone joined the lesson, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Who's that? Thank you for informing me. Uh thank you. Grace, when you get in here late, you should mention that you are here, right?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Okay. Um, tell us, Grace. We have to calculate using without the use of a calculator. So we are on F now, which is 10 open bracket 5 plus 7 close bracket plus 3 open bracket 18 minus 8 close bracket. What is the first thing we do?
Ma'am, you're gonna start off by finding out what the brackets are equal to.
Hmm?
You're gonna start off by finding out what the brackets are equal to,
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
which is going to be um it's going to be 120 plus 30.
It's going to be what?
It's going to be 10 times 12 plus 3 times 10.
Perfect. So you need to show all the steps, right? So it's going to be, he's saying it's going to be 10 times 12, 10 times 12, and then plus 3 times 10. Mm-hmm.
which is gonna be 120 plus 30.
120 plus 30. Uh-huh.
And your final answer is 150.
Perfect. So the final answer would be 150 like that. And let's move on to the next question. Maggie said 250 minus 10 times open bracket 18 plus 2 close bracket plus 35.
Ma'am, the first thing you'll do, ma'am, is add the brackets together. So you'll just add 18 plus 2, which will be 20. So for the sum next you write it, the next thing you're gonna write is 250 minus 10 times 20 plus 35.
Next thing I'm going to write would be no. Mm-hmm.
Then ma'am, next you times the negative 10 and the 20, ma'am.
The 10, negative 10, and 20. And how much do we get?
Ma'am, we're gonna get, I believe, 200, ma'am.
It's going to be 250. I believe you're saying
Minus 200, yes, ma'am.
minus 200 plus 35. Mm-hmm.
Then, ma'am, the next thing you're gonna do is add the 200 and the 35, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then your final answer will be 35, ma'am.
35.
Wait, no, ma'am, I think I made a mistake. Ma'am, the answer there is supposed to be 165. 250 minus 165. Then,
Wait, so 200. Okay, not 260. Okay, 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 okay. Mm-hmm.
then, ma'am, the next thing you're gonna write is
Yeah, it's a process. Like it is there?
ma'am, I think it will be 85, ma'am.
85.
Yes, ma'am.
The answer will be 85. Okay. Um.
Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
would it be wrong if I said 120 minus, I mean 100 and, what? If I said 200 plus 35, and then my final answer would be like 30, 15.
The 200s, yes, the 200s over here has a negative sign. So when you add them together, you technically, or yeah, technically be saying that there is a plus sign here. Eh?
Okay.
Or you should check what's the sign that comes before this the two numbers, both the two numbers that you're gonna be summing up. Ne?
Yes, ma'am.
Um, let's go to age. Age, we have in brackets 20 plus 20 multiplied by open bracket 20 minus 10. This one I will do. So the first thing that you're gonna look at, you guys have been saying we're gonna look at the brackets if we can be able to simplify whatever that's inside the brackets. Since it's just numbers, so that means it's going to be simplifiable. Okay. So 20 plus 20, I know it's equal to 40. So I'm just gonna put my bracket there. And then it says multiplied by, inside the brackets, I have 20 minus 10. I know 20 minus 10 is equal to positive 10. So I'm going to have 10 here. And then now I'm left with 40 in brackets multiplied by that, which I can also write as 40 multiplied by 10. And I know if I'm multiplying any number with 10, I'm just gonna write that number and add 10. So my answer is going to be 400. Are we happy?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Perfect. Now let's move to Gracie, and um, we have in brackets 250 minus 10 multiplied by in brackets 18 plus 2 plus 35.
So, ma'am, you're gonna start off with the brackets, which is going to be 240 times 20 plus 35.
240 times 20 times, plus 35. Sorry. Mm-hmm.
Then you're gonna do multiplication first.
Multiplication. It's more like
And you're
220. So I'm having, or we are having 240
going
by 20
times
plus 35.
35.
Hmm?
Then your answer is going to be 4,800 plus 35.
4,000. How did you know that? How did you know that 240
Then I started off by timesing 24 times 2 and then I added the extra zeros.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Mm-hmm.
And then your final answer is going to be 400, 4,835.
4,820. 35, sorry. And that is correct. And the, let's see. Let me wipe here. Lagelite, J say we have 20 plus 20 multiplied by open bracket 20 minus 10. Close bracket. Ah, Langelite. Langelite.
Can you please repeat?
J.
Ma'am, for J, the first thing you're gonna do is add the brackets. For the first bracket, the answer is gonna be 240 in brackets times 20 in brackets plus 35.
You said we're going to have 40.
If I'm gonna have 40 times, may you please move a little bit to the right, ma'am.
You said it's going to be 40. Do you
40
think
times 30. 40 times 10.
40 times 30? I need you to apply what must like getting here. Don't just look at the number. I need you to apply um um uh what must.
Okay, ma'am. So if I apply block mass, the first thing I'm gonna write is 20 plus 20 times in brackets 10
The first thing that you're going to write is what? 20 plus 20
times in brackets 10
times open bracket 20 minus 10. Okay. I need you um to continue with this method, and then we're gonna go here after. So you said 40 and then multiplied by what?
and 40 multiplied by bra 10 in brackets.
10 in brackets, which is the same as 40 multiplied by 10 outside the brackets or without the brackets. And what's going to be the answer? Sorry, guys.
The answer is gonna be 400, ma'am.
400. And then let's move here. And then what are you saying? When we are following the bottomless rule.
And then first we write 20 plus 20 times in bracket 10, positive 10.
Mm-hmm.
Then 40 times bracket 10.
Ma'am, do we start with multiplication here?
Um, Sorry, guys. Yes, you have to start with multiplication. You have to follow what the bottomless is saying. Okay, so we're gonna follow what bottomless is saying. So it says after B, what must happen? Do we go straight to adding, or do we start somewhere else before we get to the additions and subtractions?
And first we multiply the 10 and the 20.
Next, we're going to multiply the 10 and the 20, which is going to be 20 plus 20 plus 4.
20 plus 200, ma'am.
20 plus 200, which is going to be what is going to be uh
It's going to be 280.
200 and 220. So you see, when you're following BODMAS and when you are not following, where is that? BODMAS, you get different answers. So we got 400 when we were not following, when we were just looking at the answers. Excuse me, when we were just looking at the the expressions, we got 400. And then when we followed the BODMAS rules, we got 220. So you see, the importance of following BODMAS is very much important. And remember, guys, I also uh indicated to Langeli when Grace that it's important to follow BODMAS in everything that you're gonna be doing, more especially where you're going to be calculating, simplifying, and in mathematics we spend most of our times calculating, simplifying, multiplying, um factorizing and right, solving for x and everything. So you need to make sure that these signs do not apply only when you are adding numbers, but also when you are adding everything. So basically, BODMAS is applicable to all all what? All that you're gonna be doing for as long as that thing requires you to calculate, that requires you to give an answer that is calculated. You're gonna be using BODMAS, okay? So don't just say that BODMAS it is applicable to mathematics. So if you do like EMS, your BODMAS is going to be applicable because you're gonna be multiplying at some point. You're going to be calculating, you're going to be dividing, you're going to be adding, you're going to be subtracting, right? You may find brackets in accounting. If you're going to be doing accounting, and if you do physics, you're going to find the same things you need to calculate. Next year, when you go to grade 10, guys, it's still going to be applicable. Even myself, I mean, I finished school, I'm in high school a very long time ago, but I still apply BODMAS. So the application, what I'm trying to say is the application of BODMAS continues. It never stops for as long as you're going to be calculating in your life, right? Do you guys get that? So basically, today's lesson is just to teach you the importance of applying the BODMAS rules. Do you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Now let's move to K. Let's move to K. Um, are you guys having TikTok? There's a song that says Amara K. Do you guys know it? Mm-mm. Do you guys know? Do you guys know it? I love that song very much. Do you guys know it? Grace, do you know?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So if somebody gives a wrong answer, we're gonna say Amara K. Ne?
Yes, ma'am.
Deal. Is that a deal, Langelishe? Do you know it,
Yes,
Langelish?
ma'am. No, ma'am, I don't know it, ma'am.
You don't know it.
Yes, ma'am, I don't use TikTok often, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. Now you know it. Now you know it. When somebody says something that's not okay, it's Amarakei. Okay, cool. Let's continue. We have K that says 200 plus open bracket 100 plus 2 open bracket 15 plus 5 close bracket. So here we have two brackets. What are we gonna do? So who knows
Start.
what is Grace?
You're going to start with the inner brackets.
The inner brackets, which is 15 plus 5.
Yes, ma'am.
And why are we starting with the inner bracket?
Because it's addition and because it's a bracket.
So we because it's a bracket inside the bracket. So we're gonna start with whatever that's inside the bracket. So what's inside the brackets is brackets. So we're gonna start with the brackets inside the brackets. Felt like a rapper for a moment. Okay, we have 200 um plus 100, multiply it by um 2 open bracket, and then what is the sum of the inner bracket? The inner bracket.
20.
20. So
20.
here, I'm gonna have brackets like this. Um, mhm. What do I do now? Do I finally add the 200? Yay, I'm almost done. What do I do?
You first gonna say, you're gonna times the two brackets 20, close bracket.
We're gonna multiply what?
The 2 and the 20.
The 2 and the 20, because we want to get rid of the brackets that's inside the bracket. So we're gonna say 200 plus open bracket 100. Guys, let me try to make a space on the side. So I'm going to have 200. I will use 200 and then plus open bracket 100. And then you said, what is it now? I'm going to multiply the 2 with the 20. And how much is that?
40.
40. And then
You're going
multiply.
to say, you're
Mhm.
gonna work out your bracket.
Work out the bracket. So I assume that this is going to remain the same. Mm-hmm.
Your bracket is equal to 4,000.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to add your sum, and your final answer is going to be 4,200.
Mm. Mm. 4,200. Okay. Um, let's see. That is absolutely correct. So the first thing that you're gonna do in here, as Grace indicated, like Anita, you're gonna work with the inner brackets, the bracket inside the brackets inside the brackets, right? So we summed them up, which gave us 20, which was 15 plus what? 15 plus 5, which gave us 20. And then we have 200 plus what? Plus 100 multiplied by 2 times 20, right? So the 2 was multiplied by the 20 because we wanted to get rid of cancel. Hey, but from cancer, wanted to get rid of the brackets. Remember, the main aim is to get rid of the bracket. If you are simplifying in mathematics, the main aim is to get rid of the brackets. You don't want anything inside the brackets, but if you can't, it's okay. When you're simplifying, and unless sometimes when you're simplifying and you have to take out the common factor, and then that will be your final answer. But in this case, we want to make sure that we don't have brackets, right? So brackets is our biggest or is Botma's biggest enemy because we start with it, okay? And let's see, which gave us what? Which gave us 40, the 2 times 20, which gave us 40. Hence, here we are having, or Grace said we have 200 open bracket 100 multiplied by 40. And she said 100 multiplied by 40 is equal to 4,000 because she said, uh, which I assumed earlier on, she said she multiplied the numbers and then just put the zeros. So she said 4 multiplied by 1, which is the 4, and then she added these zeros to here, which is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's why we are having 3 zeros here. 4 times 1 gave her 4, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 4,000. So 200 plus 4,000 is equal to 4,200, almost like 200 rands. But it's okay. And then let's look at uh, uh um let's look at we did K, yes. Let's do L. Um the last one, which is L over here. Langelitle, we have 200 in brackets plus 100. No, in brackets we have 200 plus 100, and then outside multiplied by 2 multiplied by 15 plus 5 plus 5. Langeli, sorry.
Ma'am,
Hmm?
ma'am, first you calculate the bracket, ma'am, and that will become 300. The answer for
Three.
the bracket will be 300.
300. So we're going to have, I'm gonna open my bracket, 300. Perfect. Mm-hmm.
times 2 times 15 times plus 5.
Times 2 times 15 plus 5. Mm-hmm.
And ma'am, the next thing you do, ma'am, is you times the 300 by 2, ma'am, and the answer will be 600
The answer would be 600. Uh-huh.
times 15 plus 5.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And ma'am, the next thing you do is times 600 by 5, and that answer will be
Mm-hmm.
hey, ma'am, just give me a moment, ma'am. Ma'am, I think the answer will be 9,000, ma'am, plus 5.
You think the answer is going to be, why do you think that the answer is going to be 9,000?
Then because the stance I got after timesing 600 by 15.
How did you times 600 by 15? How did you get to 9,000?
Ma'am, so ma'am, the first thing I did, ma'am, I timesed 6 by 5, and the 6 times 5 the answer for 6 times 5 was 30, so I did that 3 more times. The answer I got was 90, and I added the two zeros.
Well, you said 6 times 5, which gave you 30, and then you said 3 times. Why are we multiplying it 3 times? Because it's 5, 10, 15. It's 5 times 3 is 15. Is it why?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, for the other two fives. So that one, the 30 was for the first five, and then the other 30 was for the second five, and the last 30 was for the last five, which is 5, 5, 5. Is this 15 over here, or is it something different? Is you did it differently, like you have a different definition, explanation, sorry.
No, ma'am, I don't have a written explanation.
Okay, and then you said you got 9,000 plus 5, 9,000 plus 5. Uh-huh. Oh,
And ma'am, the final answer will be 9,005, ma'am.
9,005. So apparently this is going to be a year in future, 9,005, because now we are on 2025. Where do you think you'll be in 9,005 years? In year 9,005, what do you guys think you're gonna be? Are you guys gonna be working?
Ma'am, I'd be in my grave, ma'am.
What?
Yeah,
I'd be in my
same.
grave, ma'am.
I'd be in my grave.
Why, guys?
I'd
What?
be dead.
Are you not guys gonna live forever? Don't you know that
Nah,
we
I'm chilling.
don't you know we're gonna live forever? Like us that are left now on earth.
Nah, I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
You guys are breaking my heart. Anyways, guys, do you guys have any question for me? Because I think that's it for today. Unless if you have like any questions, um, any question, even if it's not related to this what we are doing today. Maybe when you're studying, you bumped into something. But if there's nothing, remember you can always text me on my WhatsApp and I'll attend to you guys. Uh,
Man, Are we
able
ever gonna do higher purchase as in revision?
higher purchase and
Um, Higher purchase and yeah, that section of financial mathematics
uh-huh.
because it's gonna be in, I think, our grade 9 papers. So I was wondering if we're ever gonna cover it as revision.
You said just higher purchase.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Um, Langelisa, do you have anything specific that you want us to focus on, maybe? And are you also, Emmanuel, are you requesting because you are struggling with it, or you just want to do more of it?
Um, a bit of both, ma'am.
A bit of both. Okay, so okay, I'm just gonna ask you, what do you understand by the term yeah higher purchase?
It's akiti, ma'am.
You don't know what is it that like you don't know anything that relates to it.
Ma'am, all I know is that you're adding whatever, you're adding percentage to an amount.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, that's gonna be your answer.
Okay, I'm just gonna try to give you like um, a simplest definition of a higher purchase, right? And I'm also gonna give you an example, right? So a higher purchase is like a financial agreement or finance agreement where a buyer makes an initial payment, which we call a deposit, right? And then from there, they're gonna be paying a fixed amount each and every month according to the agreement they had, right? So for example, let's say you what? Let's say when after you're done with your matric, you go to university and you realize that in where you're staying, you need to buy you, you need to buy I think a stove, right? Because you cook every day and you cannot afford to buy milk every day, right? So because you cannot what? You cannot afford to buy a stove with full amount now, like buy it cash, right? So what you do, you can make an agreement or get into an agreement with the store, and what they're gonna do is to say you have to pay a deposit of 500 rands, and then from there you're gonna be paying 200 each and every month. Okay, that is the agreement. So basically, for they tell you like for 3 years or for 36 months. Sorry, right? So that means you're gonna be paying what? You're gonna be paying 500 rands plus the 200 times what 200, you're going to be paying the 200 36 times, so you're going to say 200 multiplied by 36, and then you're going to get the total, like you that whatever that you get when you multiply the 20 with the say 36, you're going to add it with 500. That is the total amount that you're going to be paying. And obviously um it's not something that is advisable to do. I mean, sometimes they will ask you questions, Emmanuel. I don't know why I'm remembering the other name. Um, what's your other name again?
Grace, ma'am.
Is Grace, ne? Yes, Grace. So sometimes they will ask you which one is better. I don't know if you've seen the questions. They'll ask you, is it better to buy cash or to use a higher purchase? So higher purchase is always not ideal, because you're gonna be paying triple the amounts or double the amounts that you would have paid if you bought cash. Ne? Simply because when you are paying for the higher purchase, when you're using higher purchase agreement, you're gonna be covering for a lot of things, right? Like you're gonna basically be paying for provision that in case maybe you're not able to pay at a later stage, that the company doesn't incur loss on the sale of whatever that they would have sold to you. But we'll get more into it, Ned. Just to make sure that you send me a WhatsApp text of things that you want us to give more attention.
Ma'am,
Uh-huh.
um, ma'am, is it fine if I leave, ma'am?
Yes, yes, you can. You
Thank you,
can.
ma'am.
Okay. Bye. I don't have anything to say, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and study enough. I know you guys are going to be writing next week, and best of luck with your um exams that you're going to be writing. If this is going to be the last time we are together before you have your next exam. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.